everyone, welcome back here. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in this video we will discuss the how to. In life, when you have to do something or when you have to start with something, the first question will always be how to. And if you are to sit for final year examination, if you are have to now start with your preparation process, I know as a learner you would always like ask, now how do I study, what now? And as a teacher, currently our question would also be, how do I help these learners, how do I prepare them for examination with this little time? And as parents, we also tend to wake up this time of the year and feel like, how do I help my child, how do I help prepare my child for examination? And if you have that question, then I believe that you are at the right place. So normally there will be a list of things that we can do, a list of tips, a list of advice, but for today I just want us to focus on one thing, and that will be my overall advice is to first focus on one thing. Now we have this feeling that I need to start, I have to do this, I have to do that. Where do I start? What do I do? The first thing that you of course do is you focus on one thing. And for learners, that one thing that I personally neglected when I was preparing for my grade 12 examination was to find a conducive study area. So my advice would be for learners, if there is one thing that you can focus on right at the beginning of your process of preparing for examination, is to select, to identify a conducive study area. Now this sounds so simple and so normal, but it is so essential to have a proper place to study at, to know that this is my space where I go to when I want to study. Now out of the blue you just have this motivation to study and you feel right and you are ready, but now you don't have the space to study at. And I've realized that sometimes it is in the midst of your examination that you realize, but I cannot study at this place, or it's not working for me anymore. So it is important to in advance already sort out your study area. Of course it must have good lighting, there must be fresh air, and there must not be a lot of distractions, or at least no distractions at all, and also no noise. Sorry guys. Yeah, and also no noise at all. Of course, it is the responsibility of the learner to make sure that you have a proper place to study at, and that the area is really conducive. You have to communicate this with your parents, and you can communicate it with your teacher. If you really don't have a place at home, then ask whether you can use a classroom at school. Also just make sure that it is safe and the school is in a safe community. If not, ask your teacher to come in or ask someone to come in, but just prior, like very early, make sure that you have a study area. Identify that. So if there's one thing that you can work on now, is get a study area. And if you already have one, make sure that the atmosphere is set, the mood is set. Start now. Don't wait for 2 weeks or a week into examination and now you have to run around because you don't know where to go study. This is very, very important. Yeah, now for our parents, be present. My one thing that I would focus on as a parent would be to be present. Be present by supporting your child, and support your child by finding out how you can help him or her. So many times we want to help, so many times we want to support, but we come with our way of help, our form of help, our idea of help, and then that is not what the child is currently needing, and that is not what the child sees as help. So my advice would be, my number one tip would be present by supporting your child. Support your child by actually asking, how can I help you? Give the child time to go sit and think, okay, my mom is on board, my dad is on board, my guardian is on board. How do I need their help? The one of the saddest things that I'm observing, and that's currently happening, is the fact that we all just want to help, but then we help in a way that the next person does not see it as help and does not recognize it, because you are doing what you think that person need, and then that is not the thing that the person actually needs. So as a parent, first have this discussion with your child, and be like, I want to help you, I want to come on board. Or if you are already if you are already on board, also make sure that the help that you are giving, it is really beneficial and it is what the child needs. Sometimes we really come with our own plans, our own ideas, and then that is not it. So first, find out how you can actually help, how your child needs you to be present right now. And when you are present, be present. When you help, be present. Be in it to help your child. And for our teachers, make use of the time you have. Manage your time wisely. The time you spend in thinking or talking about how you will not be able to finish the syllabus, how the subject content is too much and the time is too little, that 5 minutes, that 1 minute that you are using to think about that, about where to start, you can use to actually start. So my number one tip for teachers would just be to use the time that you have and use it wisely. Make use of every single minute and put in. So the one thing that you as a learner have to focus on now is to identify a conducive study area. The one thing that you as a parent have to focus on now is to be present. The one thing that you as a teacher have to focus on now is to make use of each and every minute. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this helps someone. See you in my next video.